Welcome to Voices of Resilience, part of the Iron Sharpening Iron universe, where stories of strength, healing, and hope come to life. I'm your host, Davina Lyons, also known as Mama Lyons, and this space is dedicated to amplifying the voices of those who've turned pain into purpose. Each episode, we dive into real conversations about courage, self discovery, and rising stronger than ever. So lean in, take a deep breath, and be inspired by the incredible voices of resilience, because every story has the power to heal. Welcome to another inspiring episode of Voices of Resilience, where we share the stories of people who have faced adversity, accepted the lessons, and made the courageous decision to rise. I am your host, Davina Lyons, also known as Mama Lyons. Today's guest is Lawrence L.G. Davis, a retired United States Marine. Let's pause for a moment with that. A retired United States Marine, author, speaker, experienced management professional, and co-founder of Rise and Reclaim. As a young man, Lawrence made a serious mistake when he was caught with a gun in high school. However, that moment did not become the final chapter of his story. He graduated from the same high school and went on to build a life centered on service, discipline, responsibility, and leadership. Through his book, Foot First Legacy, Lawrence shares powerful lessons about fatherhood, accountability, resilience, and purpose. Above all his accomplishments, he considers himself a husband, father, and Babu, grandfather. His most important roles. His message is simple but powerful. When you know better, you can choose to be better. Please join me in welcoming Lawrence, we're going to call him LG Davis, to Voices of Resilience. Welcome.
Thank you, Mama Lion. Thank you.
Listen, just reading the intro, I have so much pride and respect for you. I mean,
I
your
appreciate it.
everything. So I am excited to get into this because I believe that there are some um, men out there. Us women are always talking. I'll
Yes,
be the first to
yeah,
say it.
yeah.
We
We know
always,
y'all don't lack in the talking department. That's for sure.
no, not at all, not at all. And we don't mind lifting each other up, boosting each other up. We're all into personal development, but I don't hear enough from men.
Yeah, it's
I
time
really
for us
do.
to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. So before we discuss getting into everything that you've accomplished, who are you at the core, and what experiences have helped shape the man that you are today?
Well, me at my core is just simply a family man that is actively practicing the true meaning of husbandry. You know, most of us think being a husband is just saying I do to the woman, but
Mm,
it's much more than that. When you
mhm,
look up the word husbandry, the first definition that you're gonna get is a man that tends to the land by farming and
mhm,
raising livestock.
mm,
That's what husbandry is. You're responsible for not just your wife, but you're responsible for feeding your family. Literally. Literally.
good.
So one day I had a conversation with myself on my way to the grocery store. Because I thought I was practicing, I thought I was being a good husband. And myself said, Self, how do you feed your family? And I said, I didn't even answer. I'm like, man, you stupid. I'm on my way to the store right now. Man, how you feed your family?
Mhm.
I say, man, I got some money. I'm going to go to the store and buy some groceries. How do you feed your family? Then it hit me. Uh-oh, I don't. The store is feeding my family.
Mhm.
I'm merely giving them some currency so I can get some goods to feed the family. So technically, I wouldn't feed my family at all. The store is. So when I got into husbandry, I found out I was only doing half of it, and I wanted to do the whole thing. So I ended up. My wife let me go to Pennsylvania, where I was part of a veteran farming program for 4 months, where I
Oh,
got reacquainted with farming because my grandmother from Mississippi, she was a sharecropper in Mississippi. So this was, she always had gardens in her yard, and I was always the one flipping turning the dirt over, and you know, helping her plant the stuff, and of course harvesting. So when I got there, I just realized I already know how to do this. This is just at a larger scale. So that's when I knew I need to. You need to get back to getting back.
yes. I love that. You're using the word, I want people to really catch on to this, husbandry.
Husband,
Husbandry, that's different than just saying I'm somebody's husband.
yeah, because with husbandry, it's more responsibility.
Right.
Like I said, it's not just your wife; it's your entire family. So
Mhm.
your children, your grandchildren,
Mhm.
your cousins, your aunties, everybody,
Mhm. Yeah.
and the environment, nature, the land.
Mhm. Mhm. I was really excited to go over this because everybody knows I'm a middle school teacher and kids make mistakes in school.
Hmm.
And kids will, some things I tell my students, some things you can come back from, some things you might not be able to come back from. So you have to really think and make better choices.
Yeah.
But you're someone who came back from something and it became a good example. You shared that you were caught with a gun while you were in high school,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
still graduated. Talk about what happened there and how you got to where you are.
Okay. So what was going on was my mom was when I was in the third grade. I got to start back. When I was in the
Mhm.
third grade, came home from school, and my mother said, "Son, what you learned today?" I said, "Mama, they taught us Christopher Columbus discovered America." She said, "Oh, okay." So when she said, and I was excited because I had learned this. She said, "I want you to go get that Walkman I bought you for your birthday." I said, "Okay." She bought me this red Walkman. It was actually a Walkman and a radio, so you could take it out the radio and just have a Walkman.
Oh yeah,
You could plug it in. You remember
I
those?
remember.
So she
Mhm.
bought me that for my birthday. I love this little red Walkman radio. So she went and got it. I went and got it. I said, "I got it, Mom." She took it from me. Oh, look what I just discovered. I said, and I looked at her like, "Mom, how you did?" She said, "Exactly."
Mhm.
She said, "That man didn't discover nothing. It was people already here." And that's when my mother gave me my first educational lesson. She told me, "Look, son, you go to school to socialize. Mama gonna teach you though." And unfortunately, I learned that everybody didn't have a mama like mine.
Right.
So, everybody didn't get that Christopher Columbus really didn't discover America.
Right.
So that kind of started me off on thinking differently than a lot of people around. Just that one incident.
That's
Now,
powerful.
and I have to add in, prior to me getting caught with this gun, I was also a teenage father.
Okay.
Right. So when my biological father passed, he died of colon cancer. I was probably I was 12 years old,
Okay.
and I really was heated because this man had been on my life probably since I was 2, so I didn't really know him. I had a real vague like memory of him. I couldn't see no details. I just
Mm-hmm.
tell my mom I know he was short and black and dark
Mm-hmm.
skinned. That's all I could remember, but I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't have a detailed face. So one day he decided to my mother said, "Hey, y'all father finna come get y'all for the weekend." So I was excited because I got this vague memory. I'm thinking, oh, I'm finna reconnect, you know, with my biological father. For some reason, I thought we was finna go out of town. You know, that didn't happen. We literally
Road trip.
we literally went 8 minutes down the street.
Oh, he was there all along.
hey, hey, Mama Lion, when I say I was heated, I was heated. I say, you mean to tell me this Negro right down the street this whole time? But what happened was he ended up passing that same year.
Mm.
So we didn't even get a whole year with him. And he just died all of a sudden. And I'm like, I asked my mom, like, hey, no, what killed him? She said, well, son, he had colon cancer. He died from colon cancer. But this was the crazy part. He was number 35. He was number 35.
He was young, yeah.
So he was young. So I made a mental note then that I got to get. Well, I asked my mother, is it preventable? And she said, of course, you just have to get what they call a colonoscopy. She said, but they recommend you get it at 40. I'm like, well, he didn't even make it to 40. So that I kind of made a mental note that I'm gonna get that done earlier than that. Uh, but what I got out of his death was I was angry that I didn't know him.
Right.
So I vowed to my mama, hey mama, I don't care how many kids I have. One thing I'm gonna do is be in their life and they gonna know that I love them. So getting back to your question, when I got caught, I had already had my son. Well, no, I didn't. But he was coming.
Okay.
I get caught with this gun. I wake up that morning a little bit too late. My mom don't let us sleep late to go to school.
Right.
So I'm like, what's going on? I slept a little bit too good today.
Mm-hmm.
I go upstairs, all the lights on, ain't nobody upstairs. We had 2 cars at a time. I go look outside, one of the cars gone, one of the cars got there. Like, and as I'm in this state of confusion, the phone rings. It's my mom. What's going on? Your stepdaddy put his hands on me last night. Now this had never happened before. So this is the
Mm.
first time situation. This had never happened before, and I'm a sophomore in high school. So I'm like, I'm on my way. Where you at? I'm at your Aunt Karen's house. I'm on my way. She's like, Lawrence, please don't come out here. No, I'm on my way. So I grabbed the keys to the other car, went out there, saw her. She had busted lip, swole lip, and her eye was. She had the sunglasses on. I made her take them off, and she had a black eye. So I was
Mm.
enraged, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I was enraged, of course. So in my mind, I was going to kill this man for putting his hands on me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I got the gun. I
Mm.
got the gun for my stepfather.
Mm.
It wasn't for nobody at the school or anything like that. I was just enraged. This man put his hands on my
Mm-hmm.
mom like that, and I was just ready to do something to him.
Mm.
Now, how I end up getting caught with the gun,
Mm-hmm.
high school boys are silly. At this particular time, they running around pulling down your shorts and your pants.
Pants in you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So somebody did me like that, and the pistol fell out.
Oh boy.
That's how I got caught with the gun.
So
Right.
the administration was pretty how did you not
Okay.
get kicked
Okay.
out of
So
school?
so this how I ended up staying at. Of course, I got arrested. But it was a couple things. When I got caught, I went to my principal office and I asked. Well, they took me to the office, of course.
Yeah.
They called the police, but before the police got there, I asked my principal, "Hey, if I got all my homework, all my schoolwork for the rest of this year, would I still be able to get promoted to my junior year?" And he looked at me. He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I shout out to all my classes, got all the work that I needed for every class that I had before they suspended me. And this thing helped me out too. When the police came, my principal was adamant. Y'all are not going to take them off these premises in handcuffs. Y'all can just escort them to y'all car and put them in, but you're not leaving here in handcuffs. So that helped me out too. So even if somebody saw me, they might not have realized I was actually being arrested. It was just the students who saw it at that time. They saw it. I'm sure it got spread out through the school.
Oh yeah, of course.
But it was never nothing that I was like a proud moment or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
You know, I knew I messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I had messed up.
Mm-hmm. You just had it. So you were carrying the gun around with you in the event that your stepfather.
Well, I got it that day from somebody.
Okay.
Somebody brought it to school for me. I got it from them. I was actually on my way to put it in my locker.
Oh.
They end up getting, and then got
You got pantsed, and then it fell out.
Yeah.
I wonder, did you ever once think to yourself that scenario saved your life?
Of course.
Or your stepfather's life?
Of course. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm the type of individual, and I always been like this when I was young. Once I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something.
Mm-hmm.
When we was kids, remember the game Truth and Dare?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, in our neighborhood, we skipped the truth and we played Dare and Double Dare.
Oh yeah.
We didn't even throw no truth in. This Dare and Double Dare. It got to the point with me where people just got scared to dare me to do stuff.
Because you would do it.
Because they know I'm gonna do it. Man, don't tell him to do that. You hear what I'm saying, man? No, don't tell him to do that, man.
Oh my God. So true. Right.
So if I wouldn't have got caught with that gun, I would have done it. And I had like some of my homeboys was following him, watching him, letting me know where he was. Do you want us to get him? No, man, I'm gonna get him. I want y'all to just watch him. I just want to know where he at. But it never, and I still call him Pops to this day. The man taught me a lot. You know, he actually when I was in 6th grade, we did a mock interview where he brought home a application. He made me fill it out. 6th grade, he made me fill it out and have an interview because I want to prepare you to be in the world as a man. And so I learned things from him too.
Yeah.
You know, it was that at that particular time, I didn't know why he did it, but we ended up finding out, just like a lot of other families, drugs.
Oh yeah.
He found out he was addicted to cocaine, and that's what was going on.
Yeah.
You know, so
understood. Absolutely understood. Yeah. So I think I want to go back to your principal because I want people to hear and understand how significant it is to have adults in your life that see the bigger implication of certain things happening, and to have that
Mr. Young.
compassion.
His name was Mr. Young.
Mr. Young was compassionate.
Great man. Great man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Great man.
Those are true good leaders.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably sure I might have been the first student to get suspended and asked to get their work so they could.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? So he was even kind of puzzled, like, is this young man even
right?
And I'm not gonna lie, they initially I was getting put out the school district. You know,
Well, usually that's what happens.
that's a
I'm glad you
no.
said that. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Mr. Young, a
Fought for
couple
you.
of my other teachers, they literally fought for me.
That's beautiful.
I was on the honor roll at the time, you know, so it wasn't like I was just this horrible kid or horrible student. I just was going through something outside of school that caused me to act in this way.
And you know what? Let's put a pin in that real quick because that's another really important point. I want listeners to think about, especially, I have a lot of students who do watch my podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and former students who are adults now. And it's what you just said is so important because when you show up for yourself by way of focusing and getting your work, you're gonna make mistakes. Young
Yeah,
people's
yeah,
brains is sort of like a lizard.
yeah.
It is what it is. You're gonna make mistakes, but when you show up and you give your best, people will meet you there every time. They will meet you there every time.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
but those that give up and just act all kinds of way, wilding out all the time and doing whatever, you know what, people like, not that one. I'm not putting my neck on the line for that
Well,
one.
and it's because they gave up on themselves, so
Right.
you can't want it more than them.
Say that. That's
You
right.
know, don't that make sense? You
It
can't
makes
want it
plenty
for
sense.
them more than they do,
That's right.
or you just exerting your energy for no reason, and you're gonna be drained, while they
Right.
still don't want it no way.
That's right.
So
And that part right there is that, and that the first ones that'll tell you you don't care about me. No, you don't care about
yourself,
yourself.
exactly,
And when you don't care about
exactly,
yourself, I can't penetrate that barrier. You gotta
exactly.
want help.
Yep.
And that's really good. That's really good. Well, I'm very glad, that things went in the direction that they went in, and that you had a caring principle, and that you recognized that, and you did what you needed to do to turn it all around. So your message says that where a person begins does not determine where they can't go. When did
Hmm.
you realize that your mistake did not have to define your future? Sounds like right away when you asked for your
Oh,
homework.
it did. It did. It
Right
did.
away.
It did. I knew right away. I knew
Hmm.
right away. I knew my mom. So the so now this was after that. Now I told you how my mom was. Now this
Yeah.
same mom that told me about Chris Columbus got to pick me up from jail.
Mm.
Right. Now I had an uncle who the G in my name that come from him. Uh 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 he was off the chain. Right. So my mom told me when she came and picked me up, she said, "This is the first and the last time I will ever come get you out of jail. I saw my mama go through this with my brother. I'm not doing it. I'm not visiting no jails. I don't send no money. I ain't got no money for no lawyers." She was adamant and she made that perfectly clear. Not saying I ain't never got in trouble again. I just knew I couldn't call my mother, you know. But on that ride home, some things changed. She said, "Son, I cannot teach you how to be a man because I'm a woman. But what I can do is teach you to be responsible for yourself because I think that's one of the very first characteristics of a great man."
Mm.
So on that ride home, she was like, "Yeah, I know we talked about me going half on you getting a car. No, go and get it yourself. Go and get your own school clothes. Your school, don't ask me. Basically, don't ask me for no more money. That birthday stuff over with, I might get your card and $20. But then she also said, you no longer have a curfew. You can do whatever you want to. Just check in on me from time to time. But if you're in my house, you either gonna go to school full time, or you gonna work full time, or a combination of that." So she gave me. She said, "Your first bill, you need to get your own phone line. I'm tired of these girls calling my house all types of days." And I had to help pay for the groceries now. So all this stemmed from me doing all this stuff, right? Now, I'm a sophomore, so I got 2 years of me being responsible for me And even before then, I had got my job right, and I used to have my mama take me back and forth to work.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got paid, I'd be like, Mom, how much I owe you for taking me back and forth to work? She said, how much was your check? And
Yep.
look, when I first started working, I was only making $2.75 an hour,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I think my
Mhm.
check might have been 200 and some, not 250,
Right.
not even
Right.
$300.
Yep.
I said, how much is your check? Whatever it was, she took half.
Yep.
I said, hey,
Mm-hmm.
Mama, why you take half my money? She said, well, I feel like if I got to take you there and bring you back, then I'm kind of working too.
She working too. Mm-hmm.
So I need
Hmm.
I need half the check.
Man,
I
these
thought about
kids
it for a minute.
nowadays. Mm-mm.
I say, hey, Mom. She say, what? Can you take me to get a bus pass?
That's right.
She just started laughing just like you do it. Like you
That's
just
right.
did it. She say, yeah, son, I'll take you to get a bus pass. And I ain't never asked her to do it again. I never
Wow.
asked her to do it again. So let's fast forward to my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
This when my son was born.
Okay.
My senior year, my son was born. Now I'm reverting back to this 12-year-old boy whose father died. In this
Yeah.
conversation I had with my mom about
Mm-hmm.
making sure I'm a be there, making sure he know I love him. I noticed some of the stuff I wasn't doing would not set a good example.
Right.
So I didn't want to go to college, even though I had. I just didn't want to do schooling. So I'm like, since I had got certified in aerial mechanics. So another thing I done too, when I came back, I also went to a tech school, O'Fallon Tech, half a day, and I
Mm-hmm.
took up aerial mechanics, and I actually got certified in aerial mechanics.
Mm.
So
Nice.
I had a whole plan. I was like, I'm gonna do aerial mechanics, and then my son was born. I'm like, cool, I'm already set up. I graduated in '91. When I took up aerial mechanics with that certification, coming out of high school, the lowest I would have got paid was like $22 an hour with that certification.
That's good
Going in
though.
McDonnell Douglas hired straight from that program. So this what I'm thinking I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go work for McDonnell Douglas born straight out of high school, $22 an hour. Me and my boy good. Well, when I graduated, that's when they had the big layoff.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
was like, okay, what I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna go to the Air Force. I wasn't even the Marines wasn't even on my radar. I just took up aerial mechanics. I'm gonna go to the Air Force. That's what made sense to me.
Yeah. Ariel, Air Force.
So
Got it.
I go to and I wasn't recruited. I went to them. Didn't
Okay.
nobody recruit me.
Okay.
I went to them because I didn't
Wow.
want to go to college, but I knew I had to get out of St. Louis. It was just too much stuff going on. Uh, 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 Before Montel Williams had his talk show, he came to our high school to do a motivational talk and said our high school is one of the worst high schools in the country at the time.
Wow.
So he had a yeah. So that's how, you know, our school was something else. It was some great kids and teachers that went there, but you know, we just fell off and you know how it is. You're in the hood school, hood things go on.
That's right.
So I'm at the I'm trying to get to the Air Force. Ask Val, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But they start asking certain questions. One of them, do you have a child? Yes. They was like, hold on, are you married? I'm like, no, we can't take you. You got an illegitimate son. Now look, when they said that to me, I was mad. Hold on, man, don't tell me my son illegitimate. He mine. But
Mm.
in the Air Force, illegitimate means you're not married to the mother.
Right.
So that's why they consider it illegitimate. So just because of that and some other things, you know, like I said, I wasn't perfect. I was doing stuff I ain't had no business doing. They wouldn't let me in. I didn't know that a sergeant major of the Marine Corps at the MEP station was eavesdropping. So when I left up out of the Air Force recruiter, he was like, "Come here, young man." He's like, what happened?" I said, "They said I couldn't go." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I got a son." He's like, man, he said, okay, what else you got going on? I say, man, I got some other stuff pending, with some police stuff, you know.
Mhm.
And he was like, well, what happened? I
Mhm.
said, well, I was driving and one of them jumped out with their gun in my car. Now I tried to run them over. So I'm like, hey, I said, I ain't trying to die. I didn't know what he was on, so I tried to run him over. I said he jumped out the way though. So he told me if I come to the Marine Corps, he can get that squashed.
Wow.
He can get that squashed for me as long as I do at least 4 years for him. So that's how I ended up in the Marine Corps.
Wow. So he made that happen.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. And so Marine Corps, yeah, what is that? Hoorah.
Yep. Hoorah.
Yeah, hoorah. Oh, that's awesome. I was going to ask about that. Okay, so discipline, integrity, responsibility. Did
Mhm.
you learn more from the military or were you already on that track?
Well, as a youth, I played football all the way
Hmm.
through. To my freshman year, I played baseball a little bit. So I had a little bit, but and my grandfather too, Big Daddy, is still work ethic, working hard, letting you know, hey man, you got to sweat sometimes as a man.
Hmm.
You can't be scared of, that type of stuff. But the Marine Corps kind of fine tuned everything and kind of made everything make sense. And they put in the discipline with them is always having the ability to adapt and overcome in any situation. So you don't, you're not never thinking about you can't do something. We always have plans, right? But often nobody plans actually work out exactly how they map them out.
Right.
So that's that adapting and overcome. When you come to the plan stay the same, right? The plan don't change, but
You
sometimes
adapt.
how you get there,
Oh,
that's what's
I
gonna change.
like that.
So that's your adapting and overcoming. You
I
come to
like
a
that.
part of your plan that's like, oh man, it ain't working. Okay, now you got to adapt and overcome.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Yeah, so I can see that. I can actually see that once you learn how to adapt
Any situation,
in any situation, you can overcome, but you have to take the time to learn how to adapt. That's
and
powerful.
and you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
You
You got
know
to be
what?
comfortable with being uncomfortable.
People do not realize how true that is.
Just do.
And and this is why when you're telling people when they're raising children, this gentle parenting, this stuff, it ain't working because
Well, and it's because the world ain't gentle.
right,
The world is not
right,
gentle. So
right,
why would you be a gentle parent when you're gonna send them out here to an ungentle world?
right,
You
right.
set
There
them
are
up for failure.
consequences.
You set them up for failure.
You're setting them up for failure. There's consequences. And I know, I mean, you and I probably could go on and on because I believe we share the same ideas about this because I think about the reward systems and how everybody get a trophy. Everybody, no, no, it's okay to lose.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
okay to not be first place. It is. And I feel so strongly about that. But anyway, when you talk about adapting to overcome, that's what it makes me think about
Hmm.
is that we don't have enough of people learning to do that. We have, okay, this didn't work, or I need help. We
Hmm.
I can't do this. What do you mean you can't do this?
No such thing. That word, that word can't doesn't even exist in a
It
lot of
doesn't.
languages.
No.
That's one word I will not allow any of my grandkids to use. Don't ever say you can't. Say I haven't learned yet,
Right.
because that's what it is. You just haven't learned yet. It ain't
You
that
just
you
haven't
can't.
learned. That's right.
You haven't learned yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
come out the womb running. It was a
No.
process. It was a
Right.
process. And
Right.
each of it, you had to learn that process. You had to learn how to crawl, then you learn how to walk, then you learn how to run.
Say that. And it is a process. And the process is the part that people try to shortcut. You
No,
know,
can't do it.
people want somebody to do something for them. You don't build stamina. You do not build the ability. I have kids tell me all the time in my class, I teach reading. I hate reading.
Mm.
It's boring. I'm telling you. And I say, you know what the issue is? You're not reading something that you want to read about.
Yeah,
It's not, you don't
yeah,
want to read about what I'm being
yeah.
told from a
That's all it
curriculum
is.
perspective
Yep.
that I got to teach you. And I figured that out when I used to have classroom libraries,
Mm-hmm.
and I had boys in my room that didn't want to read. So I ordered books from Scholastic that were on basketball, and books on football, and books on gaming. All of a sudden,
They read.
they read, they want to read, because you have to find something that catches their interest.
Yeah.
And that, for us as the adults in the lives of young people, and I know you're very vested in young people, we have to adapt or help
Oh
them
yeah.
to
Oh yeah.
overcome. We can't just let them be on their at their at a whim and say, oh, you don't want to do that, okay.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
no,
And as adults, we have to realize that what's going on today wasn't going on when we was their age.
that's right.
So they dealing with something that we
Way
did
more.
not have to deal with
Right,
when we was their age. And
right,
we had to take all that in consideration.
right. That's right. I mean,
There
I think
wasn't no social media. You
right.
know,
No
only
cell
people had
phone.
cell phones in our era was dope dealers and
Right.
professional people. The
Yeah,
average person did not have a cell phone.
that's right. That's right. You had to plot real hard to be a bully and jump somebody. Now it's a text message and your butt's getting jumped as soon as you step out the
As soon
door.
as you
I
step
tell my
outside,
kids
they
that
meeting
all
you
the
there.
time. They waiting for you. And then
Y'all, they done
everybody,
went live together.
man, it's bad enough to be bullied, but now it's going live, it's
It's
going
instant.
viral.
Yeah,
Everybody see it. It's
man.
crazy. That's true. That's true. So you often speak about responsibility and accountability. Those are
Mhm.
powerful words. How do you help people take ownership of their choices without becoming trapped in shame over the past? Because that's what a lot of people are. A lot of people deal with shame, and therefore they don't want to accept, this is what I did, this is how I lived, this is what happened, whatever. How do you help people with that?
Okay, well, first off, shame is related to failure,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's why you feel shame because you feel you failed in something. Well, failure is something that was taught to us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you was a child coming out your mama womb, like I was saying earlier, you had to learn how to crawl first, and you didn't get that down at first. Was you a failure as a baby because you didn't know how to crawl? I don't think so.
No, no.
After you crawled, you had to stand up, and a lot of times you failed before you even took a step. But you learning how to walk. But was you a failure at walking? No, because eventually you learn how to walk, and once you learn how to walk, then you learn how to run. So ain't no failure. It's just we have to just do it, and we have to keep trying. Ain't nothing wrong with making mistakes, but don't make that same mistake. That's supposed to be your learning point.
Right,
There. Ain't
right,
nothing wrong with making mistakes. That's how you learn.
right.
That's your iron sharpens iron.
That's it.
Making those mistakes is your iron. Is you
Yeah,
sharpening your iron.
yeah, yeah. And it's okay if you have to keep
It's
trying to
okay.
get it right,
It's
but
okay.
don't put yourself down in the process.
Only
Yeah.
things makes you a failure is to stop trying.
Yep. Yep. I used to hear that all the time growing
That's
up.
it.
Yep.
And you know, we tend to think that everybody just got it so great. You know, you may think somebody just got it so much better than you, and not even know they going through it. They going through it. It's and this was he was a wise man, and he had some money. He told me, hey, and I take this on too. He said, I don't care who you are. If you living on this planet Earth, You gonna go through something until you leave her.
That's
Nobody's
real.
exempt. But why are we here? We here for the human experience.
The
That means you
experience.
got to experience things, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
That's it.
That's what we here for. That's what you're here for. You're here
It's
to,
so
to
true.
go through the experience of humanity.
It's so
So,
true.
so long as you keep them in and learning that these things gonna come in threes, just like that baby with the crawling, walking, and running. All your situations gonna is all gonna come in three phases every time. Once you recognize, and that uncomfortability is doing something fresh and new. Once you graduate high school, then you go to college. College is new. When you was a senior, you mastered high school.
Right.
You
Yep.
the
Well,
upperclassman.
yes.
But now when you go to college, you back a freshman. So you a baby again. You got to
Yep.
start back crawling. When you just got done running, the
That's
process
right.
starts over again.
That's
Once you
right.
finish college and you get this job that you love, you're gonna be a baby again.
Yeah. 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 You know what? It's so true. Something you said earlier, I was thinking about too, is it's we often look at other people and see that comparison trap is another thing.
Yeah,
What you think somebody else is doing or how they're living or what they have or whatever, it's not always what you see.
it ain't always what you see.
And you don't know that. So now you're trying to live your life based on what you
On
think
somebody else.
somebody else's terms, how they
Yeah,
achieved, how
yeah.
they
How they
do
living, how what they driving, the car, the house
all
they
of
got.
that.
You know, I decided a long time ago that the only person I'm in competition with is me.
That's it.
I don't.
That's it.
I'm
That's
not
it.
getting off into because for one, I can't spend his money no way.
Right. That's
So
right.
that's why I'm not finna, So I'm in competition with me. I only want to be a better me each year.
That's right.
I'm not worried about what nobody else got going on.
Yeah. And that is it took me, let's see, I'm 61. It took me a lot of years to catch on to that
Mm-hmm.
because my whole goal in achieving was to reach some pinnacle that I thought I was supposed to be at when I was supposed to be there. And looking at others, and I can see somebody right now that's 30 years old that may be farther ahead in many different ways in life, but that's their
That's
walk.
that's their walk.
That's their
Their
walk. And I'm okay with
yeah.
mine. I stopped beating myself up for, oh, I should be here instead of here.
Mm-hmm.
And I again, young people don't get that either. And now what they have, what we didn't have, is social media, is things that are holding a mirror up all the time saying, oh, look at this. I love all of the Instagram because there's also
Yeah.
filters,
Yeah.
right? Filters are fake. Filters
Yeah.
are,
They're not
you
real.
know, I can change this screen right now and make myself look way better than I
Mm-hmm.
look. And I've said this on my show before, is that you're not gonna get me to put on but so much makeup. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I just don't care. I don't care. And if
Right.
you're looking at my show and saying, oh, well, she should look this way, and I've had other influencers go through that, then you're not listening. You need to listen and not
Right.
look because
Right.
I don't care. But that's my walk. And I'm not mad at you if you want to do something different.
Right.
That's a part of growing up too. And that's a
Yeah.
part
Right.
of understanding, we're all in a process of becoming. So, and again, I don't hear enough from men on this topic. I really like that, you're bringing some golden nuggets and you're sharing your life and your experience and being responsible as a man and being accountable. You were also a dad, a
Yeah.
young father.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah,
said, I was 18, 17, 18, my first son.
that had to be.
Had a job since I was 14,
Mm-hmm.
because my mom wasn't finna buy me no more clothes and I wanted a
That's
car,
it.
had to get it myself. And, so I have been working since 14. So when I turned 18, I already been working. Look, I had already had 3 jobs by the time I was 18. I had already owned 2 cars by the time I was 18.
Oh my. You know what? So I want to take a moment real quick and shout out your mom because that's what she did the right thing.
Oh yeah. Oh
She
yeah.
did the right
Oh
thing.
yeah.
She said the
Oh
right
yeah.
thing. She understood that she needed to develop some tension in your life,
Yeah.
that
Oh
you would
yeah.
be stronger in the long run. So love that. Love that. After more than 25 years in management and forklift operations, what leadership lessons have stayed with you throughout your career? For those who are listening for that work tip.
One of the biggest, especially if you're in management, and there's different types of management skills, but mine was I like managing through motivation. Because when you motivate your workers, you can have them they'll move the earth for you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so uh,
Mm-hmm.
we always would get busy at times, and most managers when it's getting busy, they ain't finna help their employees.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't that type of manager.
Okay.
If we finna get bogged down, or if 2 3 people called out sick or something, guess what? I'm finna lay some on. I'm finna come out there and work with.
Mm-hmm.
But I just
Mm-hmm.
want them. If I'm out here, I'm gonna put everybody to shame. I'm gonna put y'all to shame. I'm gonna make y'all look bad.
Right.
I'm gonna make
Right.
y'all look bad. So that's how I come on the floor. So
Right.
even just with that, now everybody we all in competition with each other. Man,
Yeah.
we can't let them outdo us.
Right.
Can't let them outdo us. So that's the attitude they have. And then when lunch come, hey, I'm going to White Castles. I go buy White Castles for everybody. So that's what type of boss I was.
Mm-hmm.
Motivate my people to work for me,
Mm-hmm.
and they knew I had their back. Couldn't no
That's
other
important.
supervisor go talk to none of my people.
Mm.
Don't talk to my people. You only talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they knew that.
Mm-hmm.
If they got a problem, come talk to me. I get a square for you because you up
Mm-hmm.
under me.
Mm-hmm. That's
You
your
covered.
family.
You
That's
covered.
right. That's right.
You covered when you up under me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. That's that it. But that whole mentality of husbandry, when you think about it, that's the
that's right
you
in there.
show
Yeah,
everywhere you show up, you're gonna show up strong like that.
you got to. You got to.
Every young man need to be listening right now, please, to
And
the sound of your
and
voice.
and this
It's
is one of the biggest thing I want to get to young men that want to get off into that want to work, because a lot of people want to work but they can't get jobs, and it's certain reasons why, right?
mm-hmm.
One of them is you got to be punctual. In the Marine Corps we had a saying: if you there 15 minutes before, you already late.
Okay, I need to hear this one myself, but okay.
You know what I'm saying? You late. We
Yeah.
got to be there at least a half hour
Yes,
before you got to be there.
that's real.
You got
Mm-hmm.
to, because if they say roll call at 9, you can't show up at 9 o'clock. You
Okay.
ain't. That's an
Okay.
unauthorized absence.
Oh wow.
Now you
Yeah.
can lose money. You can lose some rank if they want to. They
Mhm.
can put you on little extra detail.
Character building.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all
So
character
being
building.
prompt is key. And another
Mhm.
thing, it's a time and place for everything. We all know how we are at home when we talking with our peoples.
Mhm.
When you at work, you talk professionally. There's
Right.
certain vocabulary that you do not use at
Right.
work.
Right.
You
Right.
don't use it at work. I used to have young men come to me and ask me, "Oh, gee, how you cuss these, how you cuss these people out and they don't fire you? You don't never get in trouble." And you know what I tell them? Because I'm a black man and y'all niggas.
Mhm.
And they
Mhm.
look, what you mean?
Mhm.
Y'all ever heard me say nigga at work? They thought about it. No. I said,
Mm-mm.
but y'all do. Y'all do it all the time. Y'all be on nigga, 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 nigga. I said,
Mhm.
yeah,
Saying it to each other. Yep.
damn y'all niggas. But
Mhm.
I'm a black man too.
Mhm.
That's why I can talk to him how I talk to him.
Mhm. It's a different level of respect. Yes, yes,
When
yes,
you
yes.
at work, you work.
Yeah.
You be professional. When you in the streets, you can be street. It's just you
Mm-hmm.
gotta separate those. It's a time and place for
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
When you
I
at
call
work,
that
that ain't the time and place to be like that.
authorized code switching. You have to know when to
Got
switch the
to.
code.
I
You
used to
have
call
to.
my mom at work, and she would answer the phone, and I still wouldn't know it was her.
I know.
She would answer the phone, and I would be asking for her. Can I speak to Janice Davis, please? And she changed up immediately. Hey, son, mama, that was you. Couldn't even tell that was my mama that
Oh
answered the
no.
phone. I'm
Oh
asking for
no.
her when she the one that answered the phone.
That's right.
That's when
That's
I
right. I
learned
know
that
that's
it's a
right.
time and place for everything. She said, when I'm at work, I'm work Janice.
I know. It's real. People don't
Yeah,
realize these things are real. And it's
yeah.
actually even so much part of our culture to
And just
understand
just
these
those
things.
two things, I
Yes.
promise you, you implement those two things,
Yes.
you'll be all right. And third, tell them you're a team player.
That's it. That's it.
Those
Yep.
three things, you'll be golden.
But you know, we have a generation now. I don't know if it's a millennial. I can't keep up with all the different names, Gen this, Gen that. But there's I know because I'm in leadership and I've worked in leadership long enough to have had different age people working under me. And it's like there's some shift that happened where people don't care about all those things and then will argue back and tell you, oh, I ain't trying to please this person, I ain't trying to do this, I ain't trying to do that. And I'm just like, okay, well, let me see how that works for you. And that's how I just move on. Let me see how
Yeah,
that works for you.
yeah.
Because I'm
Sometimes you
not.
just gotta give people what I call that let loan.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Sometimes you gotta give them that let loan. Just leave them alone.
yep, let them alone. That's a good one. I love that. I love that. So we talked about work and we talked about different things. I want to hear a little bit more about how fatherhood challenged, changed, and strengthened you.
Hmm. Well, the first challenge was my baby mom.
The baby mama. Okay, I know.
Both of us was young. She was
Yeah.
a little younger than me. So I was
Uh-huh.
18 and I was just becoming a senior and she was just becoming a sophomore when she got pregnant.
Okay.
So she
Okay.
had to finish high school 2 more years with a baby. And
Yes.
then we ended up getting married after I did like a year in the Marines.
Okay.
So both of
Okay.
us, I was what I think I was 19, she was 18, and
Yeah.
both of us was young and dumb. But I just,
Mhm.
in my mind, I didn't want to be like my father.
That's right. You
You know
said
what I'm
that.
saying? So I still got this going with me, like, hey, you got to
Mm-hmm.
marry this woman, you got to be with your son. So I was kind of on that mode, and it's just, but she taught me a lot, right? She definitely taught me the type of woman that I didn't want after a while. So
Of
I
course.
start, so it was she did so many things. Now can't no woman get over me on nothing. So I'm glad I learned young instead
Right.
of going through it now.
Right. Right.
Instead of going
Right.
through it now.
That's
But,
fair.
but I don't change the experience. I don't
Mm.
change us having 3 children together because all of that makes me who I am today. If you take
Right.
any of that out the equation, I'm not I'm not the same LG.
Right. No, I totally get it. And that's we as we are working with young people, we have to remember what it was like when we were there as opposed to where we are today. I struggle with that myself. When I'm working with or coaching younger women, I have to remember when I was your age, a 27-year-old Davina is definitely not the same as even a 47-year-old Davina. And good God, at 61, my tolerance is this much. However, I do remember I made a lot of bad choices. And that's one thing I will lead out with and will say is that I'm not coming down on you because I did some bonehead things myself,
Mm-hmm.
made some bad choices. But what I will say is that I would love to collapse the time frame for you. So just give
Right.
me
So you don't got to go through certain things.
That's all. That's
Just
all I'm
gotta go through
asking.
certain things,
Some things you don't have to. Yeah.
and you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
You ain't got to
Right.
reinvent the wheel. It's already created.
It's already there.
Just
Yeah.
tap into what
Yeah.
interests you. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
So this is the part I'm excited about. I want to talk about your book. You're an author. Foot
Yes.
First Legacy. What
Yeah.
inspired you to write that book? What did you hope readers will understand about creating a meaningful legacy? Talk to us about your book.
Okay. Well, first off, I got to give all the credit to my wife, Bree, for
Okay.
my motivation to write the book. I
Okay.
wasn't, not a thousand years, I thought I'd be an author. Me and her,
Okay.
she, when I read her first book, I told her, you need to make a movie out of this.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it read like a movie. I'm like, you
Mm-hmm.
good at this.
Mm-hmm.
But from her hearing my stories, man, people need to hear you. So she been saying it the whole time. She been saying it the whole
Mm-hmm.
time. And one day I was like, you know what? Let's just sit down once a week, come up with a format, and you know, and this is gonna knock it out. So
Mm-hmm.
do it. We came up with the chapters first because that's how I was gonna have to do it. Let's come up with the chapter names first, and then I can hit on the chapters, and then we can just move forward. And she just helped me through the whole process, and we got it done.
Yeah, I love the format of it. Thank you again for sending me a copy. I love the format of it. I love that it's interactive. It's
Right. And I,
engaging.
I
It's
purposely did it like that.
yes,
Because at
yes.
first it was gonna write it like, like a regular book. I'm like, nope, nope. I
Mm-mm.
say I want my book to read like a textbook almost.
Yes.
That's
Hmm.
how I want my book to read. Because I want you to get something out of everything you can. That's why I wanted to have the questions at the end of the chapters, so you can reflect.
Hmm.
If something hit you, you can just go and reflect on it. But you can do it at your time.
Absolutely.
You can do it at, fast and slow as you want to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm actually going to make sure my son is 28. I'm going to get him a copy and really encourage him and to dig into it and have a great outlet to express himself. But I love what it's about, and if you share more about what it's about because you're going to do that better than I would. But it's definitely something I think young men should have,
Hmm.
or any man actually. It doesn't
Oh
have to
yeah.
be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, um, because it is about legacy, and
Yeah.
does that tie to the again back to the notion of husbandry?
Yep.
Is it part of it as
Yep.
well?
Yep. Legacy
Okay.
specifically is, your legacy is when you're gone.
Right.
Legacy not for when you're here. It's when you're
Hmm.
gone. And we all know that it ain't a matter if, it's always a matter of when. Right.
Hmm.
So when I
That's right.
go, I want to leave my grandchildren in a better position than me and their
Hmm.
parents. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm
Hmm.
going on. I want to leave a legacy for my grandchildren.
Hmm.
Where
I
they
so
go remember,
relate to that.
they go remember they Babu and BB. I'm gonna have
Hmm.
certain rules to where they gonna have to have our pictures in their houses and you know talk to their kids about us. I want to be even remembered when I'm gone. To the
That's
ones that
right.
don't even, how they have how people have estate homes, right? And
Yes.
when you go in, they have portraits of great 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 granddaddy and his wife, and then you
Glory.
just go up. That's what I'm on right there.
You know what? That is so true.
That's
All
what
the
I'm
way
on.
like up the wall, up the
All
stair,
the
as
way
you're
up the
going up the
wall.
stairs,
All the
is
way up the wall.
all of the ancestors.
All the way up the
Yes.
wall. I got
Yeah.
some financial things that I'm doing to ensure, that they gonna be okay for as money wise a little bit. I got some stuff I'm gonna leave them. A wise man once told me, well, he asked me, he said, hey, do you know the name of your great grandfather? I was like, no, I know granddaddy, but I don't know his daddy. He's like, you
Mm-hmm.
know why you don't know him? I say, why? Because he ain't leave you nothing.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's why you don't
that's
know who
true.
he is. So I don't want to be him.
That's true.
I want to be the one that leads something, that starts
Oh,
something
goodness.
that's
Mm-hmm.
get duplicated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Love it.
children, I'm showing y'all what y'all father did. I already told my kids they not getting nothing. Everything going to my grandkids. Right. I
Why
already
do we
told
do that?
y'all
Why do
grown. I'm not leaving
we?
y'all nothing.
That's it.
I'm
But
not
why do
leaving
we
y'all
do
nothing.
that?
Maybe $3,000. Something
Yeah,
like
something.
that. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna leave you like nothing. But the money is going to my grandbabies.
3,000.
It's going to my
Hey,
grandbabies to be put in an investment vehicle so they can draw on their interest for the rest of their lives. That's what I'm doing. You know.
that's the thing to be on.
So I
I
got
know.
a
I had this conversation with my son. He has a daughter who's just starting school this year,
mm-hmm.
and every time I talk to him about what I'm doing, my business and everything, and I also talk to him. I even said to him one time, uh, I want to make sure that she knows and understands, what she does not have to endure in life, you know. And he said, "Boy, it's all about her. What about me?" And I'm like,
Well, you
"Oh,
grown. We ain't about you
you,
no more.
you got me right now.
Right.
We talking." Right? But that my girl, I want to make sure, that she understands who she is. And I mean who she
All the
is
way
for
through.
real.
Yeah.
All the way. And
Yeah.
what that means. But that's awesome. I love it. And I want to shout out real quick because your wife is my dear friend,
Mm-hmm.
Bree Davis. And Bree was a guest for anybody listening. Bree was also a guest a few weeks ago. And so I just want to remind folks that you two are a power couple. It's not just,
Yeah.
she encouraged you
We coming with a joint book.
that, oh, can't wait.
We coming with a
Cannot
joint
wait.
book. And this book is gonna start from when me and her met. And we're gonna
Oh,
bring it on to the present.
I love it. I love it. Now
This
I
this gonna
got,
be this gonna be a good one.
I can't wait because I'm going to read all of them. When I met Bree many years ago, I got her very first book, the one
Okay.
you were talking about.
Yeah.
I read it. And now this one, I need to. She also sent to me. I'm going to read it. From testimony
Now
to
I will
transformation.
say that I was her motivation for doing the second
There
book
you go.
like that.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, the
The
way
race,
she put,
yes.
yes. And I literally am going to buy a brand new workbook or composition book. And
Mm-hmm.
I love books like that. I love engagement and interactivity because I tell kids all the time, I teach reading, and I
Okay.
say the reason why you get bored reading, you don't like to read, you don't engage with what you're reading.
Right.
You and I are having a dialogue. We're engaging back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
When you learn to do that with what you're reading, I believe a book hasn't been read well if you don't have notes in the margin and you haven't underlined or highlighted something,
Mm-hmm.
which obviously
Mm-hmm.
is annotating. If
Mm-hmm.
you haven't done that, you're not really actively engaged because we live in a society where we have so much distraction. I lift up my head, look at the TV or my phone or anything, and then I forgot what I read. I have to really
Yeah.
engage, and that's the truth.
Yeah, because they,
So,
they really got us like you say, when we was younger, no social media, how they got all this stuff now. So they really
mm,
didn't taught us to tune out
right,
rather than tune in, if
that's
that make
good.
any sense. You know what I
That's
mean?
good. That's good.
We're not tuning in anymore. We tuning out. And when you tune out, it's gonna always be a disconnect because you're not grounded anymore.
LG, I think you are a podcaster and you don't know it.
I don't know about
I think you're a podcaster. I think we need to get you on the Iron Sharpening Iron universe. I'm saying that publicly. I'm putting that out there in existence. I'm manifesting that for you because I think you'd be a great host. But anyway, okay. I have let's see. I don't want to forget anything, but we're wrapping up. We hit an hour. I can't believe it. I love it.
okay,
You are also the co-founder of Rise and Reclaim.
right.
What does the organization represent and how are you helping others rise from adversity and reclaim their purpose?
Well, me and my wife have a story
Yes.
where hers is more on, the side she was on,
Yep.
and mine is on my side. So we thought that what would be great is let's do something to bring all that together so we can help people that's going through these certain situations,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
So that's why we started Rise to Reclaim, so we can
Love
help
it.
people get out of certain situations, whether it's coming home from prison,
Right.
or whether it's a homeless veteran,
Right.
or even a transition home
Hmm.
to get off drugs.
Absolutely.
So because it's
Yes.
needed,
It's needed.
it's
It's
needed.
always needed. And who better than someone who has had real time experience or been close enough to it that you can really give the real? Because there's a lot of people out there that don't know what it's really like to go through something, and they're representing like they do.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at the end of the day, there is no one more credible than someone who has walked the walk and or been close to it.
Hmm.
So I met Bree years ago at a women's expo. She probably don't remember, but I remember.
Hmm.
I was at the time was doing some kind of project with women
Hmm.
as always, and we met at a booth and started talking and connected. And I have seen some amazing work come from her, and I am so happy now to meet you as her husband. And I just think this is what I call a real power couple, right? So, in closing, um, when people look back on the life and legacy of L.G. Davis, what do you hope they'll say about you, how you lived, served, and loved?
Well, what I hope they look at is if if I can do it, so could they.
Okay, that's good.
That's all it is. It's a map and a blueprint to, like I said, you have your plans. It ain't gonna always work out as you plan. But when it comes
Right.
to that point, you just adapt to it. You
That's
overcome. You
right.
keep your plan the same. You just move around to, you might have to go left instead of right this time.
Hmm.
You might have to cut somebody else out and mess with somebody else.
That's
Wherever it
right.
may be, wherever it may be,
Might have to
and don't
switch it up.
and don't be scared to make mistakes.
Oh,
Don't be scared to
that's
make
it.
mistakes. You don't learn unless you do that,
That's right.
and
That's
and
good.
that's how all of us learn anyway. It's just what you don't want to do is continue to make the same mistakes.
Right.
That's all it is.
Right.
Learning is
That's
making
it.
mistakes.
That's it.
Learning is making mistakes. When we think about science, why do they experiment?
Right. Right.
They
That's
fail.
right.
The experiment do not work most of the time, but when it does, eureka! But it's the process of going through all these things to
Yes.
get to that.
Yes. Yes.
Get to that.
Listen, you are telling us, save it for another show because you're gonna have one and you're gonna come back on ours. I am
All right.
so. This has been wonderful. Hang on, do not hang up, do not go
Okay.
away. We're gonna have you backstage because I got to talk to you about what's next because I think you
Okay.
definitely are
Okay.
someone that needs to do that. But I for all listeners, wherever you are watching and listening, if it's Facebook, LinkedIn, um, YouTube, or Twitch. And like, please share, put some comments, let us know what you thought about this episode. I always forget to ask that stuff, and people always say to me, you know, throughout, you should be reminding people to like and share. I'm so engrossed in the interview, I'm so engrossed in learning that I forget to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I need to because I know people come and go and don't always listen to the whole thing. That's why they're telling me that. But this has been a real one. This has been a good one, and this is right down my alley. I love it. So please, 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 if you hear this, make some comments. Let's share. And this is not the last that anybody will see of LG Davis. I promise you. But thank you for all my listeners. Thank you. It has been a great episode. Until next Monday, we'll do it again.
Yes, ma'am.